Brother Chad here, G.C.B. Oh, car just pulled up. The same crackheads that built the motor for Blue built the motor for this car. And it runs like garbage, has a bunch of issues. And I love this body style. This is a pile of shit, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me walk you through it. It's a Cutlass Supreme, dented up hood, no big deal. I can put my foot through the rod hole there. Look at this, look. This is his freaking door latch, man. That's how this man drives. He straps it down like a seatbelt. You know, got some rot in the back. Let me close the door back up. Now, the only bad thing about these cars that a lot of folks don't know about, you see how there's rot right here. Sand and dirt sits on the chassis. So this engine is supposed to be boarded 60 over, a Wolverine cam in it. It's supposed to be this big nasty motor. I haven't popped the hood yet. I just got to the shop. So we're gonna pop the hood and then we're gonna jack it up and we are gonna see if the chassis is even worth anything, because if not, then this man's gonna have to 4-link this because you ain't gonna find a good chassis. So I'm gonna put my Pepsi to the side.
No Pepsi abuse now.
I got a feel my biscuits are gonna be burnt. So, oh man. Let me get my light on this, because my biscuits are already burning. Supposed to have this much power in this car. They got a 450 carburetor on this. This needs at least a 750. And look at those valve covers. You don't buy these cheap garbage valve covers. There's no damn lip on this to keep the oil in. These are garbage. If you're going to put any aftermarket carburetor valve covers on, you want to buy aluminum. These pieces of junk aftermarket chrome ones, they suck. They leak all the time. And for a motor to have all this power, yeah. It's a pile of junk from what I can see right now. Now once I get my hands on it, clean all the wiring up, clean up the harness, freaking eliminate this stuff and stick it in his trunk. But they also mentioned transmission issue. Let me show you something. One, with something this much power, you never want to run a solid fan. If this is supposed to have the power it calls for, these fan blades right here, they will flex and break. If this is built the way it's supposed to be built, you want electric fans. You don't want that piece of junk there. These are good for stock motors only. Now my son had it running. He called me up. He said, "Dad, this thing's pissing all over." Well, let me show you something. See, you see that milky shit?
Stupid.
That there is transmission fluid. And it is filled. Hold on, man, let's see. You see the redness?
Yep.
This joker is filled with transmission fluid. So something that he thought was going to be a simple tune, like I did with Blue, like I did with Precious, that's out the window. Motor has to be flushed. The radiator is just, you know, they got this, they don't even got an overflow bottle. They got it zip cord up here. So, my biscuits are burnt. It claims it runs. Well, it does run, but my son said it was pissing out of all the ends of the hoses. But I'm not touching this P.O.S. until Nasty Bitch is done. When Nasty Bitch is done, then I'll get on this. And I hate to tell you, this ain't a simple tune job now. Got to flush out the whole motor because that's not good. And because the same crackheads that built this, man, I don't know what to tell you. Brother Chad, Gangster Custom Builds. Stay tuned. And I guess we'll find out next week, next Sunday, where we're at on this thing. Like and subscribe. Please share. Leave comments. Thank you. Before I let all you YouTubers go, remember when I was talking about headers? Do your research. These are the exact same piece of junk that's on blue. Look at this. You can get a socket here, wrench here, maybe a socket here. Now these are better than blues. It won't take me 3 hours to change spark plugs because yeah, I'm gonna pull plugs on this. Let's see what this side looks like. Same thing. You can probably get a ratchet to the back, wrench, maybe socket, wrench. I don't know, man. So please, when you buy headers, do your research because stuff like this burns my biscuits like there's no tomorrow. So once again, see you next Sunday because I'm not touching this until Nasty Bitch is done. Alright, it's not Sunday yet. I was looking at to make a game plan so when Nasty Bitch is done. My biscuits are burnt. They are flaming. I mean, I am so mad right now. Let's start the carburetor. We got a zip cord here. Too much tension. Way too much tension. I can't even put it in. Check out the passing gear cable. It's not even straight with it. They got that zip corded up. You know. Got zip cord here. Zip cord here. And those freaking crackheads. Now I told you he brought it to me to be tuned. Because it ain't running the way it's supposed to. One, electric choke's not hooked up. They got it just wide open. Two, they don't have the vacuum advance hooked up. You need that vacuum advance hooked up. So, mother heifer, I know you're watching this. For me to do this right, may dip it in your pocket a little bit. So, once I get it figured out, I will give you a call. G.C.B, Chad out. I'm not even going to look at this anymore. I'm going to put the hood down and walk away and worry about it next week. So have a good night. Like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Brother Chad. Have a good night. Ain't Sunday yet. Started walking away, went to close the hood. Remember when I talked about rubber hose? They got rubber lines running from the fuel pump all the way up here. So as this motor's chopping and jumping, and this is gonna rub. The only amount of rubber line you want is that much for any connections. This should be steel. I like to run copper, but you gotta remember, as it's chopping and jumping like that, it will rub a hole, burn your car up. So this time, I'm closing the hood and getting the hell out of here before I spend 3 hours looking this car over. Have a good night.
Big man just left here before he popped up a few heart attacks more. But here's one thing that he always stressed to me and other people about. You see this radiator hose? How it's higher than that fill port? This will always create air pockets and always make your engine run hotter than when it should, and possibly overheat. So, stay tuned. See what happens next.